Vamos!
Aloha, you're watching F5 On Demand. I'm Peter Silva. We're here in Barcelona for Mobile World Congress, Hall 5, row G11. And if you haven't done your F5 selfie yet, come by the booth, pick up your glasses. Richard and I are wearing ours. Take a little snapshot and post it online. But in half seriousness, so Richard Duncan is part of our systems engineering organization, and there are a lot of acronyms within our industry, within the telecom industry, and particularly within service providers. We got SDN, we got NFV, we got TLAs, and so what we thought we'd do is OTT. We thought kind of demystify some of these three-letter acronyms, particularly things like SDN and NFV. It was a conversation we were having yesterday. So first off, what do some of the SDN and the NFVs do for enterprises and service providers?
Wow. Well, the way I explain it is, if you look at SDN, it's nothing more than creating a remote control, smart remote control for the network. If you look at your home today, you've got a smart remote control, you've got a television, you've got a VCR, and you've got this thing that says watch TV. You really don't have an understanding of all the inner workings of the different products. All you want to know is the TV goes on, I get to watch my channel. And that's effectively what SDN is going to do for the networks, right? I don't have to really understand the intelligence and the underpinnings of everything that's going to go on. I just need an operation to be done. I press the button, and in behind the scenes, stuff is automated, and that task gets done. If you look at the traditional way of doing things, I call up the networking guy, he configures the router, configures the switch, some person puts policies on a firewall. All of that's going to go away, and that's what SDN is currently doing for the network.
And then with the universal remote, you push that one button, right, and it turns on your cable box, it turns on the TV, it flips the TV to the appropriate input without you even having to worry about all the different buttons and switches, right?
And I think the key thing there is universal, right? If you look at SDN, SDN is bringing different vendors together to provide that automation. Same with a universal remote. I could have a Samsung television, you know, a Denon, we call it multimedia player, receiver, and maybe a Sony DVD player. And when I hit, watch DVD, all these things work in concert to help me to watch my DVD. And it's basically vendor agnostic. If you look at what's happening with SDN, it's now becoming, the network is going to become vendor agnostic. I can put together stuff from Cisco, stuff from F5, stuff from Juniper, stuff from HP. It doesn't really make a difference. So it allows the customer to take the best of breed, get rid of that complexity that used to happen when you try to get the best of breed to deliver a solution, and now overlay on top there you have SDN, which is going to, just quote me on this, but seamlessly you push the button and the network configures itself for a given application or a service that you want. And that's effectively what SDN is going to do for the network.
So, but let me ask you, so us as consumers, for instance, and we have our universal remotes and we hit push, now we don't have to learn the cables and wires. What is that going to do to a network admin or a systems admin? Are they going to, you think like that's going to diminish what they need to know or their skills, or it's going to make their job a lot easier?
Well, it's not going to diminish their skills. It's going to make for that specific function that you're looking at, it's going to make it easier. But those skill sets are still going to be required. I have a universal remote today, and sometimes I push watch TV, and guess what? The TV doesn't go on. I've got this thing called a help button, and I kind of push my help button, and it kind of walks me through some steps that I might be able to try. But if those things don't work, I still need to have some intelligence somewhere to understand how this plumbing was actually put together in the first place. So I don't see those jobs necessarily going away. I just see them migrating and functions becoming slightly differently. As enterprise grow bigger, they're able to push certain tasks that they want to be replicated out further and keep that intelligence closer into a smaller group. Less operational cost, basically. Still going to cost you money. You're not saving anything on the money. It's just where you spend that money and how nimble you become.
Yeah, much more intelligent, much faster delivery, more agility, the flexibility, all the cool things that we're talking about these days.
Yeah, and again, the ability to go out and look around and truly choose best of breed. If you look at prior to the SDN NFV, customers would go out and they would look to a specific vendor, and they would look to that vendor to provide the solution, and that solution consists sometimes of partnerships, right? They take it into the lab, they test it, they'd make sure this solution worked between them, or it could be a single vendor and they put their products together again and they test it to make sure, well, SDN is sort of going to take that layer away and really truly give you the ability to go out and choose different pieces from different vendors and build that solution and still have that sort of integration that you want as a customer.
Yep.
Or a partner, right?
And so sometimes and this is how this kind of idea came to be. We were just talking yesterday about, a lot of the confusion within the industry and all of these acronyms and people not really understanding what they go on. And we kind of like came to this conclusion, well, if you can't like explain it to, say, a third grader, then there's probably something wrong.
True, and if you've noticed, what I've tried to do is stay away from using NFV, SDN. I think I've tried to use terms that pretty much anyone kind of can relate to today. So hopefully that helps.
Great job, Richard.
Toodles. Enjoy the show.
So a lot more about demystifying some of these TLA, three-letter acronyms, SDN, NFV, IC3, whatever it is.
We've got a lot of them in this industry.
Yeah. I really appreciate your time, Richard. Great conversation. First time on the show. Give him a shaka.
Take care.
For Richard, my good buddy Jonathan behind the lens. Thanks again, Jonathan. I'm Peter, and we're with F5 Networks.
Adios.
Thanks for watching.